we're going to watch the weekly volume and we're going to see what happens. If we get a huge weekly spike here, well, yeah, we could have something going, but I like to take it in segments. You know, I love to take it in segments, the market. So now we've had this great run up. Great run up. Let's see what's actually going on here. We had a nice spike at 8 o'clock, which sometimes happens. But that's my target of 22,945. I thought it had hit. And earlier I said on my YouTube update, it hasn't hit my target yet. So do I think it's done? No. Now I think we have a chance of it being done. I'm not saying it is because we could very well put in a bullish cup and handle here. Right? So we're about to see here, but that was my technical target. 22,945. And that's been up there for a very long time. And a lot of people are like, how do you get these numbers? Because that's where I think the market's going to go. And I don't really give a shit what everybody else says. But I know if it gets to these pivot points, we would have to hold this as support. And furthermore, come up here and then come up here before you'd be like, okay, this market's super bullish. But acknowledging, if we get up here, this is a quick opportunity to ride it up to the actual pattern top. You know, that's the formation pattern right there in the descending triangle. So if we come all the way through here, this is just a short-term ascending triangle. Remember, we fell from all the way up here. We've never actually had a true retest up. You don't need to have them, but we came down to support. So now the next logical thing would be maybe we have to come up here if we break out of this ascending triangle. You have to break the bear flag and hold it before you can actually say we're coming up here. How many times are we going to do this, you know? Remember here, this is like essentially the same thing we had here. A nice little fake out and then we just pop down. And it wasn't just that we popped down. Now we're getting a little excited here. Now can the excitement get us to here? We don't know. Hello.
We're excited. Woohoo! Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I haven't even acknowledged everybody individually yet. I just been going over.
Hello, people. I acknowledge you.
So I don't know who's in here.
You have 31. So 39 people to acknowledge.
Matthews, welcome. Chuffs, yo. Jamie Munez, yo, welcome back.
Chefs, not chefs.
I said, oh, Chuffs, or Chefs. AMG. In along right now, up 6 so far. Nice. Nothing much, Electro Nick, just watching the old market setup. You know how it goes. Just close your long at plus 20%. I think that's an interesting spot. But it really does look like Bitcoin's going to, you know, it's going to have to retrace here. We're going to look across the board. I just want to say hi to everybody. Matthews, welcome. 23K, yep. 22,009 whatever and some change was my estimated target. Sean, what's going on? My main man from Maine, welcome in.
I'm the honorary wifey.
Lennium, welcome. Sean Crothers, we will take a look at Theta as well, and obviously XRP, Ethereum. Nathan, what's going on? Jerry Cares, welcome in. Token Jesus, welcome in. Old Jesus taking a toke. Bailey Independent, welcome in. So, what we're really looking for is to get a hold here and a run up. This is your formation we had to hold. This is just, hey, we're building a rising channel here, but we can take this many ways. We can say, okay, well, we're going to go farther back. I'm okay with that. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's your pattern, my pattern, I don't care. But then you got the overhead resistance, overhead support, and then what's going to end up happening is eventually this pattern's going to meet somewhere, and it looks like it's going to meet right here. Taylor May, welcome in, love. How are you doing? I see more of you than your boyfriend now, if I'm talking to the right person. I could be talking. There's two people with very similar names. One's a guy, one's a gal. So we'll see if I played my cards right or if I said it to the wrong person.
Gal? Since when do you say gal?
Hey, I got Southerners here, Julie, and people from all around. My adaptation is phenomenal.
You just never say it. It's weird.
I say it on here.
I think that was the first time I heard you say it.
I say it on here. Do you ever watch my... Julie, do you watch my show?
I do. You know I do. Check it.
Where's the swear jar? Because I never swear as a rule. We never swear on XRP Future Million.
How many plates did you get for your
Wow. Okay, so let's see what everybody's saying. Markham, welcome. Sean Crothers, it did hit the 22,960. Now we have to see what happens, but that was a very quick reversal. I mean, it literally hit that target perfectly. It did it while I was loading up my stream. Otherwise, I would have put in a short up there, but I didn't even have a chance. So I'm going to see how it reacts here, but I really was going to put in a short there on Bitcoin and just ride it real quick back down. Just as far as this first drop went. Right, John? Never. Never. But this is the pivot point in my mind. This number is the pivot point. And look, we've come up. Either it's going to continue on, or this is your pivot zone. But to me, I think we've had a little bit of volume here, so why couldn't it pivot through and actually come to the top of the formation or that we've started creating from back here? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we always have to pay attention to that. I didn't just get this 22,945, several weeks ago, by throwing fairy dust in the air and saying, oh, great fairy. What is going to happen next? Or I didn't come up to the chart and say, oh, charts. How are we going to get here? Oh, Tom, we're going to go 22,945. But how did I get that? I've been talking about that being the pivot point. It makes me look stupid, though, because this one took forever to fill out. Look how long I've had this on here. We've literally, feels like ages we've gone through this pattern. Ages. And now the importance of the ascending triangle that we've had, which is a bear flag, just like up here, played down, is if we do get on top of this and we break past the pivot point, which has to happen, we can break up to the top of this new, so basically here's what's happening on Bitcoin. Higher high, higher high. Now if you come up here and have a higher high, that's interesting. It is. To keep making higher highs, the pattern keeps going up just another level. But obviously we have this overhead resistance that could really, if Bitcoin came up here. But we want to see if we can even get there. So the only way to know if we can get there, and I understand a lot of people are fudsters, but we have to, anybody who just tuned in, we have this descending triangle. It's a descending triangle. We call it for what it is. It's been going on forever. We've been getting hammered, slam-based. Just basically executed if you're holding anything. Your portfolio has been painfully kicked in the nuts. Well, what's going on here is we have bear market rallies. And in bear market rallies, you sometimes come up to the top of the pattern formation, which in the descending triangle, that would give you top-end potential. If you manage to weasel your way up here, it would get you up to about 29K. I've long said I don't think that's what's going to happen, but you can't rule it out because it's the top of the formation. That's why I said in the descending triangle, I'd much rather it play true and just come down and not make us stick around, make a whole bunch of people lose their money on a cup and handle, and then just come down here like it's supposed to. I'd rather just go down, be done with this, because look how much people have lost. We had one moment like this on the way down. Here, came up and people were like, oh my God, the market, the bottom's in, the bear market's over. We came up here to the pattern resistance. And then we came down and people were like, oh my God, crypto's over. It's never going to end. Oh, well, we just hit pattern support again now. Oh my God, the bear market's, it's just a cycle that gets smaller as we go. That's it. And the prices become so much lower, but people still, the bottom's in, the bottom's in, the bottom's in. I've heard the bottom's in so much that I think I've got my bottom out. Or my bottom's in. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. I really don't. Everybody keeps saying the bottom's in. I'm just looking around like, the bottom's in? We're at 44K. How the hell is the bottom in? Other people, the bottom's in at 52K. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin came all the way down there just so it could stop at 52. Or I love the ones. Well, we had the pattern formation here, so obviously this was the low, and then we only came down here. Well, if it were to come up here, that would have been very bearish for the long term of crypto. It would have been nice for the short term. This is bullish for crypto long term. Even more bullish if we do this. We need to come down and rectify the problems we've made in the past, which is the government putting a whole bunch of money into crypto, fake money, that eventually they're going to take back out, which they are now with easing, quantitative easing. What do you think is going to happen when you get a 100 basis point rate hike? Right now, we're not even factoring that in. We're like, oh, 100, we're just going to shake it off. Shake it off. But look what happened to the stock market. Stock market had that attitude earlier today. We're just going to shake it off. Remember? It's going to shake it off. The stock market was all the way up to 31,657. Where'd we close? 600 points down from the top. That was a big sell-off at the end of the day. To make it negative, you actually finished with a very weak weak candle today, which in the weekly you can see how weak it actually was. Look at this daily candle, how it ended. This daily candle came all the way down from 31,641. And your very critical spot is 31,081. It's actually below that for a daily candle close. If you pay attention, that's huge, because tomorrow when the market opens for the Dow, you're going to have a mid candle now. This candle is going to open up. It's going to look like this. It's going to be flat. You're going to have it all the way pulled down, and it's just going to be like a line. That's a brutal close. That was a brutal close today. A brutal one. Absolutely brutal. It actually pulled you below the 20, the 20-day and the daily. You see how the end of the day, that's a brutal pull down. But it came back down to support, and then some. But we're going to have to see how the market reacts tomorrow. The DXY had a brutal crash this morning and over the weekend. After it closed on Friday, we talked about it on Monday. It might start off down. But after it recovers, look out. Are we starting that recovery now? We came to the true support. And it doesn't matter what you're covering. And people, oh, technical analysis doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. I know it doesn't. Everybody always says it doesn't. Really, it doesn't? Like, come on. I'm always like, yeah, I know. It doesn't. But had you have done technical analysis, you could see this move before it happens. We knew when it was going to break out when it finally broke the ascending. We have the uptrending support with the uptrending resistance. We also know on a successful backtest, it's going to explode up to, probably capitulate up to that 120.23 target. I've had these targets out here for so long, I look like a lunatic. But it's the pattern formations. I can't help where the pattern's going to go. I also can't help that the USA is a bunch of scumbags. So they're going to finish out this very planned out cup and handle from December of 2001. Come all the way up here and probably fail. And then we're going to have, that's the end of the dollar. This capitulation event is the end of the dollar. All that's going on right now is the rest of the world sees the US dollar as an asset because it's holding weight against theirs. It's shit. The US dollar is garbage. It's having a, what happens after this? So basically the rest of the world enjoys the benefits of the dollar surging while us at home deal with inflation like we've never seen. So the US dollar don't go nowhere. Our gallon of milk's $6 or eggs are $5 or whatever the hell they are in certain states. But yet the dollar is supposedly at all-time highs here for the last 20 years. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing that correlation in the stores. I'm not seeing, the only correlation I'm seeing that with is gold. You can get gold cheaper right now. But this is limited. I keep telling everybody, watch this carefully, because if we get down here, pay attention to these channels. Just pay attention to it. First, we got to break this key support at 1661. But this all plays into the crypto. And notice I haven't gone through XRP yet. It's much more than XRP, and I always start with XRP. XRP in the grand scheme is where I'm going to make a lot of money, like I did last year, but more. But in the grand scheme, XRP is a big player, but not for the reasons most people think. And we're about to get into that time. I told you, once November of this year comes, my whole way I do content changes. It only focuses on it. If you tell me anything to cover but the ISO, I kick it out. But that's in November, which means, we have to call things for what they are come November. But look at Bitcoin. You could not have called that any more spot on than where I had it at the time, because that's the pivot point. Now, if we hold this line, well, that's one thing. But what an opportunity that would have been. I wish my show didn't start right when that happened. Like, what the hell? I literally came on and we were down here. I'm like, all right, we'll get the show started. I was targeting this up here. I cannot believe it did that. Literally as I was starting the show. I came on, I'm like, what the hell? We're at 22.9? And now look, that would have been a great short. Just a quick short. What, 15 minutes? Ooh, broken. Now, we look at it this way, guys. We're not going to be fooled here. We're not suckers. Crashing volume, crashing price, oftentimes signs of a reversal. What do I always say? You oftentimes come down to the 100-day. If you stay bullish, then you work your way up, and then you start to make some progress. We're going to see if this plays out. But if it does, this would be your opportunity to get in everything. If you think it's going to come up. You have one opportunity, and it's right now. This is it. Because if that pulls into a bullish Gartley, you've missed your opportunity. Just like Ethereum. Same thing. They're all going to start to do this. They're all going to start building this. XRP, I assume, did that earlier. Yeah. See how that's formed a bullish Gartley here in the 1 minute? If it pulls up, these are absolutely bullish Gartleys. If you don't know what it is, I'll show you. This is very interesting. Look at Bitcoin. Did we just pull into a bullish Gartley? We'll find out here. Let's go. For the ones who don't know, let's go show you what a bullish Gartley is. This is very important. Tell me we could have just created this formation. Right? Could have just created the formation here. So once upon a time, there was the insanely smart trader dude named Harold McKinley Gartley. He had a stock market advisory service in the mid-1930s with a huge following. We never talked about how the Gartley got its name, but we're going to right now. The service was one of the first to apply scientific and statistical methods to analyze the stock market behavior. According to Gartley, he was finally able to solve two of the biggest problems of traders and what and when to buy. Soon enough, traders realized that these patterns could also be applied to other markets since there are various books, trading software, and other patterns discussed below. So Gartley, a.k.a. the 222 pattern, which is my number, as you guys know. That's the sign the angels are watching over you. And a bullish Gartley is very nice. A bearish Gartley is not. But if you understand what you're looking at, it's very helpful. The Gartley 222 pattern is named for the page number it is found on in H.M. Gartley's book, Profits in the Stock Market. I like to think the angels speak to us in weird ways. Here's another example. Gartleys are patterns that include the basic ABCD pattern, but are preceded by a significant higher low. Now, these patterns normally form when a correction of the overall trend is taking place and look like M or W for bearish patterns. So this is the bearish Gartley on the top. A is down, B is the middle, but C extends up. So that's a slightly ascending bottom. You want a descending bottom like the bullish Gartley in the diagram below, where you break the 127 and you come out to the 0.786 on the uptrend. And you buy it at D, but that's exactly where it's a very fine line. You have to buy it right when it happens. And right now, it can absolutely roll over, but you see what's happening here. I told you it was that 1 minute candle, and damn it, I'm doing this show. I'm doing the show, but that is where, if you were taking a gamble, you take it there and hold your breath and hope to God it doesn't come through the 100-day, because if it does, then it pulled down, and you should have a sell order right there. But you could absolutely buy in here, take a gamble that it comes up, and put a stop. Ooh, you know what? Julie! Should I just buy? Because then I can put the stop loss and show them exactly what I'm talking about, unless it rolls over right now. But there's not enough volume. And that's a hell of a retrace. And if we're coming all the way up here, I find it hard to believe we wouldn't at least do this at the top. I find it hard to believe that it's not just going to come through this area. I really do. Because I said before, if it comes up here, has the proper retrace back down real quick and comes up, it can absolutely come out of this area. So now we're watching. This is your second chance of these patterns right here, but it's a quick volatile swing down, push up if it holds. Otherwise, it's a fake out, and then it comes through, and you have to have your sell order right below the 100-day. Where's it at? Somewhere in here, because it would come down to the 200. That's why I like watching these live. See? Look at this. So it's here, here to here. So, oh, it would definitely be a ballsy long. It would definitely be a ballsy long. It sure would. Sure would. But I'm just saying. These are the points where you're making a bullish handle if it's going to happen. And it would look something like that. So you have to take the gamble somewhere along the handle just to break it up. I personally wanted to short it from 22,931, but my show started exactly when this shit happened. And right when I came back to start the show, I seen we had abruptly went from 22,200 to 22,900 in the 6 minutes that I was setting up my show. Can you believe these market, as if they were watching to see my plan. But yeah, Now, I mean, I always say, like, when I come up with numbers, there's a lot of different charts, a lot of different ways you can look at it. My interpretation was 22,945. I even said on YouTube a few hours ago, I know it came down, but it never hit my pattern target. So that's what I was thinking it was going to hit. Do I necessarily think it's just going to collapse right now? It might. But I personally think it had to come up here. That's why I wanted to play that so bad. From here to here. Because I thought it had to hold this uptrend at 22,184. And then if it comes through here, it comes right through 21,188. Then if it comes through here, you come right down to 19,188. To me, there's nothing in between because this pattern's either evolving or it's going to finally break down and this is a fake out. But with what I'm seeing, if I'm being honest with myself, you might get something like this as we come across. This pattern don't look much different than it did right here. Like maybe you get something like that. I don't know. But I want to see because it could very easily come through, then finish this, and you could actually see that as a great pattern finish. I want it to go down for the record. I don't want it to go up. I started trading long when we'd have big drops because it was an easy couple weeks here, especially the last 4 or 5 days. Just because you could see what they were doing over the weekend. Too bad I had my son's party. Otherwise, there would have been more than just those 6 trades. All successful, very successful. But everybody tuning in, welcome. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I don't remember the last time we had 50 people in here, to be honest with you. Make sure you look at my YouTube my Twitch homepage and follow me over on YouTube. Don't cut yourself short. Don't listen to all the fudsters. Listen to somebody who's just spitting out the truth, understands the charts, and has no ulterior motive. Like I used to say on YouTube when I first started, I do this for historical record only. I'm going to look back one day and say, did I help people get into this stuff? Did I help save them money when it was coming down? Did I do my part to make sure everybody didn't go broke? Yes. In the last 18 months, I can check the boxes. But you need to follow me over on YouTube, which is the link on my Twitch homepage, is the YouTube partner page. We're less than 160 people from 12,000 now. We broke 11,800 yesterday. We've gained about 60 since then. I'd really appreciate if you joined me over there. Markham, thank you for the 100 bits. I honestly didn't even realize you sent me any bits. I apologize for that, as that was 11 minutes ago, and I like to be more timely. Yo, yes, scam pump indeed, it could be. Yep, it showed. Token G's, I prefer holding the trading, but when it's time to trade, we got to do what we must. Absolutely. We're going to go back in the DXY, but yeah, very well could be bullish, and obviously in the short term, I think. So I think we're going to have a capitulation style event like nobody's ever seen in the dollar, just to make our inflation not look as bad to the world, and it's going to capitulate to 120. I've been very clear. That's for the new people, not to you, Token Jesus. You know where I stand. Those angles are pretended. They are very important, and it would be a unbelievably ballsy long from here. It would. The appropriate time to long it would be right here on the blue line at 22,162. Who's got the balls to long it from there? You could go broke. But I feel hurt, sabotaged, and pissed off right now at the market makers. All they had to do was wait 6 minutes to go to my target so I could buy my short. That's all they had to do, 6 fucking minutes. It took me 6 minutes to set up my short, and I was watching the charts closely. I had no idea from 8:02 to 8:10, 8 minutes, that Bitcoin would go to 22,200 to 22,900. And then when I looked, it was at 22,600. I'm like, what the? How did it do that? Now, I'm telling you, this is almost a tailor-made, kicked in the nuts setup. We have the 20 day at 22,000. But it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, I don't know why so many more people are in here today, but welcome. Huh? 51. But yeah, this is the pattern we've been talking about. So the pattern formation. Have we even gone to XRP yet? Have we even covered XRP? Wow. I don't think we covered XRP in this whole thing. So, as we've been talking about for days upon days, especially in here, because we've been able to open it up a little bit with XRP. Let me get rid of some of this. I don't like all these dots, so I just get here. Let me go here. Get rid of it quicker, but and then I get rid of my arrow. First thing I do. It's okay. Here, let me just fill this back in real quick. Okay, so basically XRP fell out of a bear flag into an extended bear flag is what ended up happening here. We have an extended consolidation for XRP. You can see it. It's an extended, but this pattern, it was completely normal if it came up to the top of this bear flag. And that's why I said I fully anticipated, even if we broke down, to come up here. Why can't we come up to 36? Well, we come up to the 100-day, which was more probable. But the top of this pattern is 37.5 roughly. Maybe a little bit lower, actually. About right there. 37.48. But if we came through and we extended this out, there's many ways to look at this. Like, you could have extended this out. And it hasn't done anything. This hasn't even broke out of this range. There's a region we're in, but we haven't, no matter how you draw this out, we haven't broke the range. And you could actually make this a little more disheartening if you look at it. If you just come from here and actually draw it through, now you start to look at a picture here. That's not good. And then that would guarantee you to 20.2049. So, I mean, when you start to actually piece it together, this isn't good. You need to break out of this area. That's why I do it in 2 ascending triangles. I didn't want to show the worst case scenario. Or the likely scenario, in my opinion. But it's not pretty right now, guys and gals. This is not a pretty situation or a pretty setup. The only thing we can say is in the 30-minute segments, we gained a extraordinary buy volume there. But what's happening right now? Is this going to be a 30-minute candle where it eats up that entire candle? It's only been 18 minutes and it's taken over half. It's been like 11 minutes or whatever. 11 minutes and 47 seconds. Which means this 30-minute candle still has a very long time. Very long. We're not even to the halfway point for 3 more minutes. So we're going to see if this sell volume continues, but you can already see sell volume's crashing in the 1 minute. If it holds the 200-day, this is a bullish setup still. But once you start giving away the 200-day and the 1 minute, then it opens up the door for the 3, the 5, 15, and then it just gets ugly. Look at that, though. The 15, look at that sell volume. It very well could have been a fake out. But you started to have to open your eyes. But seems like we're coming down a little bit. I mean, they've all come down almost to the 20-day. Bitcoin's at 22,340. But I mean, it came right down there almost. Almost hit it perfectly. But this is just a pattern formation. To stay bullish, this has to do this. It can't just run out of here. But that volume spike is something we have to pay attention to. At least that's something I pay attention to. I guess you don't have to. So for Bitcoin, the average volume down here is about 121. 121. You come up here, 112, 112, 111, but you see the volume's getting lower. So back here about 120, 121. Back here you actually have segments right now where you're getting 102 Bitcoin. So you have less volume coming in. More volume down here, clearly. Way more volume. A ton more volume. This is decreasing. Less. Less. Even less. They're running out of buyers, guys. Now all we're looking for is if we make this third high on Bitcoin. That's all I give a shit about. Right? If we make this third... I didn't mean to make a tornado or a hurricane. We got a category 3 over here in Las Vegas. About Louisiana. We got gambling and titties over in Vegas, but we certainly don't have a hurricane. Alright, so the underneath support here, I mean, usually X does mark a spot for a reason. It usually does. And you guys have seen it. It's so crazy how it happens. But basically what I'm looking for, here's your first higher high from the when we dropped. Higher high. Now, are we going to do it again? But is it going to be in the pattern formation? If it stays in this formation, well, whatever, then we got to come back down. And do it again. Come back down. And do it again. Until maybe we come up here. But until that happens, you know, we very well could have put in a sneaky, ready? Lower high, or lower low. I mean, there's your low, higher low. You know, we could very sneakily be putting in higher lows here, or you have a high, you have a little bit of a parallel, but then you start breaking up. So I'd like to see if we can make a connection here. If you make a connection here, you're going to come up here. But, you know, that's to be determined, ladies and gentlemen. So, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Since we got about 50 people in here tonight, so there's been a lot of people that you can form an opinion. Do you think I'm full of garbage? Do you think I'm a nonsense talker? Do you think I should punch myself in the face because I don't understand the charts? Or do you simply think, holy crap, he knows what he's talking about? I know there's a lot of things going on, but pay attention. And you too will understand. I'll be right back. Actually, I'll put it into the 4-hour. Julie, put that in the 4-hour time
How
frame.
do I do that?
Just click the 4-hour time frame.
Hi, I'm going to do the charts. I don't
Here,
know
Julie's
what I'm
going to do the
talking-
charts for a minute.
Yeah, I'll screw everybody up and make you lose all your
51
money 'cause
people
I
in
have no
there.
idea what I'm talking about.
51 people watching you right now.
Ooh, you got 10 bits. Cool. I don't know how to change things. I don't want to mess with those charts. I want to press buttons.
You were probably right.
Somebody said something
Just
is
click
going
it.
on.
That's fine.
XRP coming back up a bit. Did somebody say what? Oh, well,
Oh,
let me
titties.
see it.
It's on-
How do you know?
Because I remember when you messaged it. My memory's
Oh.
photographic, so I can still remember what everybody said. I just need to see him say it. I mean, I
Chef
remember-
said bit is going up to him.
Oh yeah, I asked him what they thought.
Nathan said chart god Tom will always have the ultimate credit after XRP drops to 14 cents or below.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate, wouldn't it?
I'm good. It's the Chef Julie. It's not the Chef Julie. Julie likes to burn things.
Yeah, but she does fine. She does fine.
I've been burning things lately.
Yeah, but we make it work. G-Cuts, welcome in. I was up 300 in my short early and should have read
Boss
it.
O the charts.
Let them stop me
Hey,
after
he
20
talks
or
like
so
me.
profit.
I would say the exact same thing. Boss
Payback.
O.
Ooh, very nice, C-Dubs. Just make sure you pay. Well, I need to
C-Dubs.
tell
Oh.
you. That's Chris. I don't need to tell you, but
Oh, I'm the chef, not you.
you know the risk and rewards here.
He needs to cook for me.
EF Free, thanks for the 10 bits. And About J Right, thanks for the 50 bits. You are all very, very generous.
Aw.
Nathan, I really appreciate that. Markham, I already
Well,
told
that's
you.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who else didn't I say hi to? I think everybody who's Electro Nick, boss of the charts. Yeah. Wow, a lot more people are in here today. I don't know if you guys just felt sorry and you're like, we better go pay attention to him. Seen he was looking a little low yesterday.
How do you make it bigger?
And then you go like this.
Oh, it does look like it's going to go up a little bit.
Remember what I said? The ultimate spot to take a gamble.
It said your Twitch isn't optimized for the latest version. You might have to update Twitch.
What did it say?
It said Twitch isn't optimized to something.
It did?
Yeah,
When did it say that?
just now it came across the
I
screen.
didn't see it.
I'm just saying you might have to update it.
Okay.
But it looks like it could go up a little bit.
Well, I think if it touches the support properly,
And
we're
then
not
it'll
lined
go,
up for a
ooh.
drop yet. Well,
Well, yeah, it's going to
I
go.
can't say that.
It's going to go up and then it'll go. Whoop.
It just, generally it comes up here and tries to touch these stupid wicks. before it breaks down all the way. It'll just have a slow, drawn-out process.
And then it will go back down. But that's a lot of volume, isn't it? Isn't it weak?
Yeah, so I can actually see. Unless you want to keep sitting, you keep sitting.
I deserve your ass cushion.
It's comfy, isn't it?
It is.
See? And you make fun of me when I bought it.
I'm done with the chair.
You give up on the charts?
No, I'm the chair.
Well, you got to sit back down then.
Thomas, I'm disappointed.
Why?
His little projector toy has all the planets, except for Pluto.
Aw, they did that crap.
Yes.
Well, guys, now that I'm actually able to look at Bitcoin real quick, that's a bearish Gartley, so that is not the route you wanted to take if you think this is going to ultimately go bullish. That's a bad look. That's a bearish Gartley. So, much like when we looked at the beginning of the show at the bullish Gartley, remember the bearish Gartley formation, right? That's the bearish Gartley. So, let's look on the 1 minute again and see what Bitcoin's telling us. I mean, on the 1 minute, that's showing a bearish Gartley. Yeah, it can come up. But once it gets to whether this is the design target or here, generally this will come up about, on a bearish one, maybe come back up to here to 22,498 at most, if it can even muster enough strength to get past the 20-day. But generally, it's not going to continue on. This is going to play out as a right shoulder. On the 1 minute, but if we look at it in a bigger time frame, like, what does that look like to you guys? That was nothing for volume. That's almost a tailor-made fake out, except we have to, in my opinion, there's one anomaly right now, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, 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 too close. 20 days too close. I mean, the 200's too close. In my opinion, I could see us coming up a little bit to like here, so that the 200 can level off. And so basically what I like to see, because right now my brain's screaming anomaly, 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 anomaly. Tom, don't buy yet. Anomaly, don't short it. You dumb fuck the line. Anomaly, don't do it yet. Don't do it. You're going to cost yourself. Don't do it. Just don't buy it. Even though I want to buy it right at this exact moment. My brain's saying, Tom, you know what's going on. The 200-day should be about there. You know, when we space it out. The 100, the 50. And I only put stock into this, C-dubs. And anybody else who's wondering, because I don't give a shit about the analytical machines or the tools that you can use. But what I do care about is seeing where technical traders will line up because they don't understand charts. See, someone like Chris, someone like Electro Nick, Valley Independent, a few others that I've seen in here. You guys understand the charts. Token Jesus, and C-dubs, obviously. I said Chris. But for ones who don't, they're going to put these on and say, hey, here's our rejection point. Now, wouldn't it be too easy for them to just, right when it hits the 20-day come through, so they got to pop over a little bit. So somebody just bought in here on the Wix and said, hey, look at that shit volume that's coming down. The seasoned veteran knows you got a chance to come up to at least here. Probably would cap off any upside here. But there is a chance. You know, that's just the way it goes, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. It's these little pennies. You piss and moan. You do. Because it's your money. You want to get these pennies. Look at the fucking 5 minute. It's not ready. Just in my opinion, it's too close to the out. It's too stacked. We got too much turmoil in the middle. Trying to get the 20 to meet it up here somewhere. So, very interesting setup to me right now. It really is. Theta. Time's getting away from me. I apologize. Sean, are you still in here? I hope you didn't miss this.